Welcome to CRE8 Force, where we create and dominate. You got Mike Sarge to my side. I'm Kai Billings. Let's get into it. Mike, man, whether you are a lieutenant out of commissioning source or you're a brand new airman who's just finished ALS, at some point in our careers, you get the chance to be a supervisor, which is an incredibly humbling experience. But with that, there's a whole bunch of mistakes that we make or we've seen others make that you have to learn from if you want to progress. So for you, man, what are some of the worst mistakes you've made or you've seen others made when it comes to supervising?
Just thinking on it, I think one of the mistakes that I made early was feeling the pressure to make an early splash, essentially. To go all right, hey, I'm the leader of this section, organization, whatever. I need people to know that I'm going to get the job done. I'm a strong leader. You can't walk over me, whatever that is, right? And because of that, sometimes you can make decisions that aren't necessary. I'll give you an example. Example of this would be going into a work section and then learning a little bit of what that section or that office does, and then immediately wanting to change the schedule. When people in that office are already in a rhythm, they already have a semi-good, work-life balance, and then this new person that no one knows, they don't know your expectations, they don't know what you're really about, and the first thing you do is mess up their schedule, which is going to impact possibly their sleep, impact their time with their families, or their extracurriculars, their hobbies, all that other stuff. So I think that one of the things I did, I didn't necessarily make the schedule change, but there were moments where I would make changes to things a little bit too fast, and I didn't give myself a chance to truly understand who I was working with and, who works well with who as far as teams and dynamics and all those things. So I think I just didn't give myself enough time to settle in as a leader. That was definitely one for me. I've definitely got more, but I definitely want to hear from you. What was a leadership mistake that you feel like you made early on?
I would say the very first one is realizing that you're in over your head. I would say as a young lieutenant, one of my SELs at my second squadron, she was incredible. But as a young lieutenant, I thought I knew all the answers. It's come from a flying squadron. You can tell that mentality. And she thought we were going to butt heads so hard. And I would say the first little bit was a pretty rocky start. But I'd say quickly realizing that I was in over my head and seeking out mentorship kind of helped me fix that a little bit. For the young cats out there, don't think you know it all. Be honest with yourself. You don't magically just know how to lead straight out the womb. So ask for help. I would say in some instances, not asking for help and thinking I knew it all definitely hurt the team in the long run, man. That's one of those things.
Just adding to what you just said, I believe one of them is just believing that you need to have all the answers. I know, I felt that pressure in leadership school where, I was enjoying myself. I was meeting these new people. I was excited. And then the closer we got to the end and the closer we got to graduation, I felt like, oh snap, when I get back, I'm going to have people under me. I am going to in some way, shape or form, are going to be impacting someone's career, whether positively or negatively. And so, all of a sudden I felt this, well, what if they ask me something I don't know the answer? What if they bring something to me and it's urgent or important or important and I don't know the answer to it? Oh man, I'm a bad supervisor. I'm a bad leader. When really that's not the truth. The truth is, we mentioned earlier, you're going to make mistakes. That's the start. Just go ahead and get out of your head that you're not going to make mistakes. And that's just life in general. You're going to make mistakes as a service member. You're going to make mistakes as a new mom, new dad, as an athlete or whatever it is. You're going to make mistakes anytime you're doing something new or doing something that's at least a little bit outside of your normal, programming or your normal schedule. And so, for me, it was just understanding that I'm not going to have all the answers, and that's okay. Because not only is it a learning, opportunity, but there are people that were at your rank or at your position at some point, and they probably have tons of knowledge that they can, pass down to you. So you don't make those same mistakes. So for me, it was just understanding like, hey man, you're not going to have all the answers, and that's okay. Like, nothing wrong with that.
And along those lines, you're not going to have all the answers. So when you have to make decisions, another mistake I've seen is not seeking out inputs from your team. Like, don't be afraid to crowdsource solutions. Like, someone's got a creative thought somewhere that will probably make the process go by a lot quicker. And on top of that, don't be afraid to delegate. My goodness, man. The number of leaders that progress from airman to NCO, lieutenant to captain to major, and so forth. If you're the person doing all the tasks, you've got a problem. Like, you're going to run out of time. You saw your job when you were an airman or a lieutenant. And if that job took you 40 hours a week, and now you've progressed a rank or two up, and you've got even more tasks to do, share the love. Use your team. Like, you don't magically get more time in your day. It's the same amount of time. So you can't just triple your task and think you're still done in 40 hours. It's not going to happen. And for those that have families, they want to see you. They want you to go home. So please, for the love of God, don't be afraid to delegate. That doesn't mean over-delegate. Don't be the manager or the leader that does nothing and just like sit in your chair while you pass everything off. But if it's a task that your team can handle, don't be afraid to let them take that opportunity to succeed. It'll make your life easier. It'll help them learn quicker. Like, everybody wins.
As leaders, don't be afraid to be vulnerable with the people that are under you. Because I know sometimes people hear the word vulnerable and they assume you mean being weak, and that's not what that word means. Like, vulnerable sometimes just means like, hey, I've just me admitting to people under me, like, hey, I've made mistakes, or hey, when we had that meeting 2 weeks ago and you guys had this idea and I decided to go in this direction, hey, that plan did not go well. And I acknowledge that maybe if I went with the plan that you guys presented, maybe that doesn't happen, right? Like, being vulnerable just means having open communication and having transparency with your team. So don't be afraid of doing that as a leader, because there's nothing wrong with that. And if anything, you're building trust with the people on your team and within your organization, within your unit, when you do that. So I absolutely would encourage that too. But we want to hear from you guys. Like, what are some mistakes that you've made personally as a new leader or as someone that's been a leader for a while? And be sure to put them in the comments.